All right, welcome all of you to this CCC class. Today we are going to learn chapter 2, which is Introduction to Computers Operating System. Okay, I think I don't need to introduce myself. Here in my slide, I mentioned my name and my contact details. Okay, so let's go to the first slide. First of all, we have to define what is operating system. Operating system is a set of software, or we can say collection of software to make the hardware function properly, right? And without operating system, your hardware cannot function or cannot be used. Nowadays, we have many types of devices such as laptop, computer, mobile phone, etc. Somebody is coming in, so let me accept. And okay, let's continue. When I say hardware, I hope you understand hardware is the physical component, and your phone is also hardware. So the aim of operating system is to make your hardware more user friendly. For example, in laptop, for Windows computers, we have operating systems like Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 10. Those are the operating system. In your mobile phones, you have Android operating system. Android is very popular nowadays, but before that, there are many operating systems which we are going to study. And please remember that operating system is not a single software. It is a collection or a sets of software to make your hardware functioning properly. Without hardware, without operating system, your hardware cannot function. Okay, so in operating system, when you say GUI, it's graphical user interface. This GUI includes both graphics as well as text. So for example, in your phone, you have some buttons along with the name below it. That is the GUI, graphical user interface. Okay. And modern operating system supports a file system which is known as NTFS, New Technology File System. I want you to remember these abbreviations, the short forms along with the long form. So it may come in CCC exam, okay? So I highlighted in red. GUI means graphical user interface. NTFS means New Technology File System. All right, now let's go to the next slide. What happens when you press the power button on computer? Here I'm saying computer only, but it is applicable to your mobile phones also. The question can be what happens when you power on your mobile phones, okay? But let's talk specifically to the computer system. As soon as you press the power button, the BIOS, we call it BIOS, Basic Input Output System. There is another name called CMOS, Complementary Metal Oxide Semiconductor, which is located in your ROM, read-only memory inside the computer motherboard, or we can call it as a chip, okay? And this ROM is also available in your mobile phone, all right? So what I'm talking about is it's the BIOS or the CMOS is a software, a piece of software which is already saved in read-only memory. And this software is manufactured by the hardware manufacturer. In computer, the motherboard manufacturer, okay? As soon as you press the power button, the program in that ROM runs, okay? First of all, it runs. And the first thing it perform is pause. What we call it as pause. Power on self-test. It will test itself. It will test the laptop. It will test the computer. it will test the phone itself, okay, which is known as POS, power on self test. If everything is all right, it then load the operating system. It then load the operating system. The operating system may be Windows 10 for laptops or something like that, and Android for mobile phone. All right. Restarting the computer is also known as booting. Okay, when you restart, it is also known as booting. This can be applicable to mobile phone also. If I say reboot your mobile phone, that means I'm talking about please switch off your mobile phone and on again. So booting, this process is known as booting. So let me explain in brief. As soon as you press the power button, the first program which run is nothing but the BIOS or the CMOS. What the function of this CMOS is to check every connected component for computers or every parts for the mobile phones. If everything is all right, then it will load the operating system. And your system, computer or mobile phone will be usable after some time. All right, that's the what happened when you power on. Let's go to the next. Basic of operating system. The basic means the operating system prepare the bare machine to be used by the user, and it is the interface between the hardware and the user. Here I wrote it the software, but it's not the software. GUI interface between hardware and the user. Different operating systems for Windows include, I hope you remember Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. Currently, Windows 10 is the latest one. And Linux operating systems are also there. In Linux, we have Fedora, Red Hat, Ubuntu, SUSE, etc. So many versions of Linux are there. And yeah, because it is free, computer expert can modify it to suit whatever requirement they have. And another operating system is called Mac OS, Macintosh operating system. This operating systems belongs to Apple company, and they are named their different version of the operating system as Tiger, Leopard, Catalina, etc. All right. And we have Android operating system also. Nowadays, it's very popular. Jelly Bean, KitKat, Lollipop, etc. And I think the latest one is Android 10. Before Android 10, there is Pie and Android Pie version and Oreo version, etc. These are the basic of the operating system. Now let's focus a little bit to Windows. Even though you are all familiar with this Windows, if you haven't played with computer, Windows is developed by Microsoft. Please remember in CCC, if questions comes, which company developed Windows, it's Microsoft. So Windows is based on this DOS, this operating system, okay, DOS. And first version of Windows released to public was 3.1. The first version must be 1, but they think that Windows version 1 is not good to be released to the public, so they increase the version again by modifying some features or by adding new features. So when they release to the public, the Windows version become 3.1. And my computer, I hope you have seen my computer in Windows, old Windows versions like Windows XP. It was included in Windows 95 only. Before that, there is no My Computer. But in Windows 10, I hope you recognize there is no My Computer anymore. I hope you know what is the replacement for this My Computer in Windows 10. It is replaced by this PC. This PC, My Computer was replaced by this PC in Windows 10. And there is no start button in Windows 8. Please try to remember, because this is one of the most commonly asked questions. In all other Windows versions, there is start button, but in Windows 8, there is no start button. And whenever you need any help in Windows, keyboard shortcut F1 is the universal help key, okay? As soon as you press F1, some health tips or health menu will appear. And let's focus on Linux now. Windows is developed by Microsoft and it is not free. We are supposed to purchase it. But Linux operating system is open source operating system, which means it is free and the source code is also publicly available. Computer expert can modify it, okay? And open source means everything, including the source, is free. And Linux OS was developed by Linus Torvalds in 1991. Please try to remember the name of the developer. This guy, Linus Torvalds, is developed with the first Linux operating system in 1991 for his PhD thesis, okay, to complete his PhD. And this guy, Linus Torvalds, is very good that he released the operating system he developed freely to the public, okay? If it is Bill Gates, he may market it and he may become one of the richest person in the world. But I think he is a good person. He released it to the public for free. There is no cost. And as per your syllabus include operating system for desktops and laptops, okay? What are the different operating systems available for desktop computers and laptop computers? These are only few and the most popular operating system: Windows, Linux, Red Hat belongs to Linux, Mac OS, FreeBSD, Solaris, Sun Cobalt, etc. All right. Apart from this, even the government of India also developed Bharat OS, something like that. So many OS are there. So I think we'll not study in details about this. If you know Windows, different version of Windows, the names, and if you know different most popular Linux version, and if you know Mac OS, and that's enough for desktop and laptop. All right, let's go to operating system for mobile phones and tablets. All right, this survey is based on 1999 to 2019, within 10 years. And there is Palm OS, Web OS, Bada OS, and Windows Mobile, and BlackBerry OS, iOS, Symbian, Android, etc. These are the different operating system available for mobile phone, but nowadays Android is very, very popular. But those who purchase iPhones, etc., their operating system will be iOS. And for some security purpose in US, they use BlackBerry OS. Windows Mobile is not popular here. All right. And these are the different operating system available for mobile phones and tablets. Please try to remember the names as well as the company who created it. I hope you know Android is created by Google. Symbian is created by a company called Symbian. iOS is created by Apple. BlackBerry is also created by a company. BlackBerry company is there. Windows Mobile is created by Microsoft, like that. Okay. Now let's go to the next slide. The GUI, graphical user interface. Here I have shown you the picture of Windows XP. Okay, this Windows XP, what you have seen right now is known as desktop. All right, desktop components. We have different components in that desktop. You have the taskbar. The taskbar is the bottom side where there is start menu, as well as some time and some icons are there. This line, the bottom line, is known as taskbar. And we have icons. Icons means the picture, the graphical representations. For example, we have icon for recycle bin, icon for VLC media player, and icon for my computer, and icon for my documents. When I say icons, I'm referring to the picture, not the text. All right. And let's go to the background. The background is nothing but the picture. Here we have a nice picture, which is known as the background. And start menu, I think I don't need to explain what is start menu. And let me explain what is system tray. System tray is the portion of the taskbar where there is a time with some buttons. All right, here I hope you can see 8:38 a.m. I took the screenshot in 8:38 a.m. and there are sound controlled and some icons. This area is known as system tray. And here I mentioned hibernate. Hibernate means shut down the computer without closing the running application. Suppose you are working on some project and you need to go some while working, and before finishing the project you need to do something. So you don't want to close your application. This is necessary in case of rendering videos, editing videos, etc. It takes a lot of time. So before shutting down, you can click start and hibernate option will be there. So if you click hibernate, it will sleep and it will hibernate. And as soon as you come back, you can wake up. That is not rebooting or starting the computer, and you can resume your work. All right, that's the function of hibernate. And let's go to the next slide, running applications. All right. When you want to open any application, you need to know where it is. But with newer Windows comes with the search box where you can type everything you want to search and run the application. But before even though there is search, you can it's easier to run the application. All right, so in order to run, you have to click start menu and then click run, and this box will appear in Windows XP. In Windows 10 the look may be a little bit different, but the keyboard shortcut Windows key and R is same. In every keyboard I hope you can find Windows key for these laptops except Mac OS. Okay, so Windows key, hold down the Windows key and press R, and this box will appear. And whatever apps you want to run, you need to know the name of that app in order to run. For example, here I mentioned some applications. So when you want to open Microsoft Word, you have to type WinWord together. Everything in small letter or capital letter, it's the same, but it should be together. WinWord, and press enter or OK. Then Microsoft Word will open if it is installed in that system. But if it is not possible to open, that means your computer do not have Microsoft. And Excel also. Excel, you need to type Excel. If you want to open PowerPoint, you have to type PowerPNT. This is the name for running the application. And if you want to open Paint, you have to type MS Paint. And if you want to run a calculator, CALC, Notepad, Wattpad, something like that. So you can run like that. All right. And you can switch between different running application by holding down the tab, the ALT key and tab key, and you can switch between different running programs. Okay, now let's go to the mouse properties in Windows. All right, I hope you have mouse at home in your computer, let's say, but laptops comes with trackpad and you can use mouse also. So in order to change your mouse properties, you can go to start, control panel, printers and other hardware and mouse. And you can also click the buttons, the left and right buttons in that system, and you can click the double, you can set the double click speed. You can also change the pointer and the pointer options. You can also change the scroll property. When you scroll something, you can set some animation also. And it is possible to change from the control panel and mouse in new version. Okay, this start, control panel, printer and other hardware will be applicable to Windows XP, but in newer version you can go to control and mouse, control panel and mouse. Yeah, the property of mouse looks like this in Windows 10. This is the mouse property. You can click the button. In this button, you can set to be left-handed or right-handed. Mostly it is right-handed. But if you are left-handed and you want to set your mouse to be for the left-handed, you can click this left-handed, so that your right click will become left click if you set it to the left-handed. Okay. And double click speed, you can set it fast or slow. The function of this double click speed is, if you set it fast, in order to double click, you need to double click very fast. But if you set a little bit slower, even though you click twice a little bit slower, it can be accepted as a double click. Okay. And there is a pointer also. You can use different pointers, options, and pointer animations also. You can change these properties anytime. And the next thing is changing the system date and time. And this is not required nowadays, but in old computers where there is no internet connection, and sometimes the date and time is usually incorrect. All right, we need to change. But nowadays, since we are connected to the computer, the time can be adjusted automatically. There are different methods for changing the system time. The first one is start control panel date and time and change date and time. From there, you can adjust the date and time. You can also double click the date and time in system tray. I hope you still remember what is system tray. I already explained. And you can double click that time, and there will be an option for changing the date and time. And I wanted to remember the time zone where we are living in. The time zone is GMT plus 5:30. All right, GMT plus 5:30. In your phone also, if you are not setting your time zone correctly, your date and time cannot be correct. So you have to set your date and time correctly, and the time zone should be GMT everywhere. In computer, in laptop, or in every device, we are located in this time zone. Plus 5:30, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, New Delhi, etc. And when you want to close any running application without clicking the X button, you can simply press Alt and F4. Okay, in order to close any running application, you can hold down the Alt key and press F4. Now also, if I press Alt and F4, my presentation will stop. Now let's go to the display properties. Display properties means the desktop property mostly, the background, the screensaver, etc. So you can set change the display property from start, control panel, appearance, and theme, and then display. Or you can right click on an empty area in desktop and click properties. And you can change whatever you want, like the theme, color scheme, size, etc. You can change the background picture. You can change the screensaver. Screensaver, nowadays it's not popular, but still we can use. It is available in our computer, laptop, etc. Screensaver is the image or the things which will appear when the computer is not used. All right, and settings, the different settings. I hope those who used to play games, I hope you know these settings, display settings. The lowest one, the default, is usually 800 by 600, but if your monitor support HD quality, it should be much bigger than this one. Okay, HD quality starts from 1080. Okay, this 600 should be 1080, and the 800 should be much more than that. Okay, that will be the HD quality. And nowadays we have 4K monitors. 4K monitor means the value in these settings will be more than 4,000. All right, and many people are talking about 8K also. 8K. Now, let's go to another topic, which is known as add or remove programs in Windows 10. And when you install some software, you want to remove that software again. And that is known as add or remove program. All right? That means install and uninstall. When we say install, we are putting some software to be used inside our system. In your phone also, you can install and you can remove again. Likewise, in computer, um, you can install some programs and you can uninstall some programs again. So in order to do that, you can go to, you can open this PC or my computer. There is an option called installed or uninstalled programs. So you can click that and this feature will come. In Windows 10, you can simply click apps and features, and these types of features will come. So in this system, Adobe Digital Edition is installed, which is 20 MB, and Adobe Pacemaker is there, and Photoshop is also there. So if I want to uninstall, I want to remove from my system, I can click uninstall after selecting the program which I want to uninstall or remove. And I want you to know what is the full form of DTP also. DTP means desktop publishing. DTP full form is desktop publishing, and the DTP softwares include CorelDRAW, Ventura, Pacemaker, etc. All right. And let's go to the next slide. And this is the process which I already explained. Method 1, start control panel, add or remove programs. And method 2, double click my computer and click add or remove programs, or add or remove Windows components. Okay. When you say Windows component, there are some software which comes with the Windows operating system. For example, one of the most popular software which comes with Windows is one of the most popular software which comes with, excuse me for a minute. Right, let's continue. My son has just come in, that's why. Um, so now let's talk about the Windows component. Windows components are those software which comes automatically with the operating system. For example, one example is card game in Windows XP, etc. There are many people who are used to playing cards. Okay, that playing card games is not installed separately. It comes with the Windows. Okay, if you want to remove, you can follow these steps. You can go to the settings, device, printer, scanners, and others. From there, you can go to, in Windows XP, gaming is there. Under gaming, you can select card to install, or you can remove the selection to uninstall. All right, that's the way we have to remove and something like that. Printer also can be done like that. So Windows 10 comes with lots of printer drivers, so we don't need to install separately. So simply connect the power button of the printer and connect with your laptop or computer. If it is using Windows 10, from here you can go to device settings, printer and scanner, and you can click add a printer or scanner. Then your printer will or scanner will be added automatically, and then you will be able to print it. Okay, if there is any problem with the printer, you can even remove the printer. This printer is only example. The same applies to other devices like sound cards, and nowadays these TV sticks are very popular. Okay, TV sticks may be the device. All right, let's go to the next thing. We almost done. I hope you understand what I just explained. If there is any problems, or if there is anything that you want me to explain again, please don't hesitate to type in the chat box. Okay, I can answer any questions. Whatever you type in the chat box, please don't hesitate and please type in the chat box. Now let's go to the files and folder management. This is too simple for nowadays, because most of us are familiar with files and folders and we know how to create it. But let us quickly go through this. A file is an information store inside your system, and a folder is a container of files. So if you want to create a new folder, you can right click on one empty space and you can go to new and then folder, and you can type the name of the folder and you can press enter. That's the process for creating folder. And there will be many other process also. And I want you to know the different shortcuts. Copy, Control C, and cut, Control V, and paste. Okay, cut, Control X, paste, Control V. All right. And I want you to know different file extensions. It usually comes in the CCC exam. So some of the most popular extensions are DOC for Word document, DOCX also for Word document. For Excel, it is XLS, XLSX. And for PowerPoint, it is PPT or PPTX. And music files like MP3, WMA, etc. And video files like .dat, MVA, FLVM, MOV, AVI, MP4, etc. Okay, these are the uh, different file extension. I want to explain what is the difference between DOC and DOCX. DOCX is the new file extension introduced by Microsoft. All right, the new file extension introduced by Microsoft. And this DOCX or XLSX or PPTX comes with Microsoft Office version 2007 or above. Below that, the extension is only DOC or PPT or XLS. But from Microsoft Office version 2007, the extension is X, DOCX, XLSX, something like that. All right. So please try to remember that Microsoft Office 2007 is very, very important. It's the turning point in this file extension. I think that's all from my slide. Is there any question from you? You can unmute yourself or type in the chat box. All right. If there is no questions, I have some model questions and answer. Let's see. Who developed Linux operating system? You can type the answer or you can unmute yourself and tell me what is the answer. A, B, C, D. Any answer from the student? No response. What happened? Yes, I got one response, which is B. Let's see. Yes, B is the correct answer. Let's go to the next question. Is it possible to set the scroll property of a mouse? A, B, C, D. Scroll property of a mouse. A, B, C, D. Is it possible to set the scroll property of a mouse? No response? Okay, the correct answer is yes, anytime. What is the keyboard shortcut to run? I have already told you it's a Windows plus R. And what is the file extension for PowerPoint 2007 or above? It is PPTX. Okay, since there is no response from you, I think it's better to end the session. And that's all from me. I'll stop the recording now.